Good morning. Welcome to DCO3O, Creating Opportunities Through Cooperative Education. My name is Katie Birch, and I am the instructor for this course, and I'd like to firstly welcome you to the course. And yeah, today we're basically going over all the parts of the course. I'm going to show you how to log in. You're going to be able to access our Google Classroom and start sort of learning how to use the Google tools that are a really important part of our class today. So, welcome to DCO3O. What is DCO3O? In a nutshell, this course is based on a little bit of finding out who you are, a little bit of building some job skills like making a resume, filling out applications, learning some job interview skills, and also things you need to consider when you're in the workplace like conflict management, decision making, leadership, making smart goals. And then the other major component about this course is around work experience. So we'll go over how many hours a little bit later, but a major component about this course is you go through the coursework in these two sections here. Then you go and do work experience, which is also called placement. And then your culminating task at the end of this course, which is worth 30%, is your final inquiry assignment where you find an area to do some research about in your work placement and explore that area a little further through a project. So first of all, let me tell you a little bit about who I am. My name is Katie Birch. First and foremost, I'm a mom. I live in Sioux Lookout, Ontario. I've been teaching for about 15, maybe closer to 20 years now. I work for WASA Distance Education, teaching co-op, but I also work for another organization called Connected North, where we connect with students all across northern places in Canada. I love to bake and cook. That's sort of a passion of mine. This is a picture of my son, Evan, who is now going into high school, which is making me feel pretty old. Yeah, originally I'm from BC, but I've taught as far north as Fort Severn and as far south as New Zealand. So that's a little bit about me. For me in this course, communication is key. So if you are ever struggling with anything in the course, I have my contact information here, which I always mention at the beginning of every class. The quickest way to reach me is always on my cell phone. You can text me. Usually text is the fastest way to reach me. If you can't get me through text, feel free to send me an email. But I always really like to keep the communication going two ways. So don't just sit and get stuck. Reach out to me. It's my job. I'm here to help you. Yeah, so don't hesitate. All right, what is the coursework that's involved in DCO3O? So really, in the first part of the course, these first three sections, all of these have to be completed before you can actually start collecting your work placement hours. So the first section is preparing for your placement. So in this part, you learn a bit about yourself, take some personality tests. Then we do some job placement preparation where you build a resume, fill out some job applications, practice an interview question. We also talk about many aspects of workplace health and safety, not just with physical health and safety. We talk about how to create a safe mental space in your work environment and how to find resource people to reach out if your health and safety is at risk in your employment. Some things that we consider are like the Employment Standards Act and the federal employment standards, those kinds of things. Okay, so before you go out on placement, we put together this thing called a Cooperative Education Learning Plan. And in short, that's called SCELP. SCELP. I'm not very good at printing with my finger here, but that's what it's called, Student Cooperative Education Learning Plan. So throughout the course, once you've finished all your preparation work, throughout the course and while you're on placement, you're going to be building a portfolio. You're going to need signed timesheets. If you don't already have a work placement in mind, if you're already employed in a job, we can use that job as your placement. If you are unemployed, then we can talk and I will find you a placement somewhere in your community or close to your community. And if that's not possible, we could potentially look at a virtual placement. And while you're on placement, as well as filling out timesheets, you're also filling in journal entries. This section is worth the major assignment at the end of the course. So your portfolio and your learning plan are super, super important. Okay, and then the last two parts are leadership and decision making, which we sort of talk about throughout the end of the course once you're on placement. And then your final assignment, along with your portfolio, is an inquiry project where you come up with something you would like to learn about at your workplace, and you create a slideshow telling me what you learned as you were working in that placement. All right, so let's move on to the next slide here. Okay, so let's talk credits. So if you're in this course, you're either here for 1 credit or for 2 credits. And co-op DCO3O is 2 elective credits or 1 elective credit. So you should have already reached out to your guidance counselor, Candice Goretsky or Barb Carpenter, to talk about whether you're going for 1 or 2 credits. I think most of the students in the course this time around are going for 2 credits. What does that mean? So 1 credit means that there's about 40 hours of coursework that needs to be completed. So that's 40 hours of assignments and class time, okay? Then there's 80 hours of placement. So essentially, if you take that as a 40-hour work week, you do 2 hours of co-op placement, where you work 40 hours a week. Sorry, did I say 2 hours? I mean 2 weeks of work placement. 40 hours a week for 2 weeks. If you find that that's too much because you have kids at home or you're not able to schedule that much time because you're taking other courses, we can divide that over 4 weeks. That's fine. But the most important thing is that you get through that coursework, because as soon as you get that coursework done, the first 3 components, then you can start work and start collecting those work hours. And at the very end, as you're doing these cooperative placement hours, you're going to spend about 20 hours, a couple of classes, and about 15 hours working on your inquiry assignment, building your portfolio, and filling out your cooperative education learning plan. The only thing that's different about a 1 credit versus a 2 credit course is, let's go back a slide, is the number of hours that you're on placement. So the work amount doesn't change like the classwork, but what does change is the amount of placement hours that you are on. So some of you might have started this course in semester 1A and you might not finish till 2A, or you might start in 1B and finish in 2B. If you're taking 2 credits, you can collect those hours and we'll sign you off on the co-op once those hours are collected. So don't panic if you don't get through it in the 9 weeks. It would be ideal if you could. You can get the first 2 weeks of class where you focus on getting all your coursework done, and then that you should be able to get to the 2 credits in 9 weeks, but it would require a lot of work. Okay. Units that we cover in co-op are, today is basically a little bit of Google training, setting up your portfolio, introduction to the course. Then topic 1, we talk about what sorts of jobs you are suited for. Topic 2, we talk about your resume. We write your resume together, work on cover letters, fill out a job application. Topic 3 is interview skills. Topic 4, we talk about all the things involved health and safety in the workplace. We talk about in topic 5, privacy, confidentiality, and ethics. Topic 6, human rights and employment standards. Topic 7, we learn about unions and bargaining. Topic 8, employment trends. Topic 9, gender in the workplace. And topic 10 and 11 are around just getting you prepped and ready for your placement. So all of these topics need to be finished before you can start collecting your work hours. So just bear that in mind. The quicker you get through these, and these assignments are not difficult, very basic to get through. So, all right, let's jump on in. How do I log in to this course? How's it hosted? Okay, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to google.com, okay? The best place to sign in when you're at google.com is up here in your browser at the top. Many of you probably already have Gmail accounts. So you open up a Google Chrome browser, and your login credentials are your first name dot your last name with the month of your birth and the day of your birth at nnecschools.org. I'll say that one more time. Your first name dot your last name with the two numbers of the month. If it's January, it's 01. If it's November, it's 11. The two numbers of the date of your birth. If it's 26, you're going to put 26. If it's number 1 or number 8, you're going to put a 0 and an 8, or a 0 and a 1, at nnecschools.org. Your initial password, it's going to ask you to reset your password once you log in for the first time, is going to be WASA student. So we're actually going to go and do that together just so you can see what I see. So if I go to google.com, I'm just going to open a guest window here. So you'll see that if I go to google.com, if I'm not already signed in, I'm going to see a little blue sign in button. That's an okay place to sign in, and you certainly can. But the easiest, simplest to go back and forth, if you already have a Gmail account you're signed into, is to sign in at the top of the browser here. See where it says guest? So instead of doing that, what you're going to do is sign in up here. And that way you can go back and forth from one account to the other really quickly without it getting confused between accounts. Okay? So at the very top of your browser, you want to log in. Remember, you're logging in with your, I'll do it in here, google.com. You can sign in here too, it does work, but it can get a bit confused sometimes. You're going to log in with your first name, dot your last name, the month and the day of your birth at nnecschools.org, okay? And then you're going to put your password, and your password is going to be WASA student. Okay. All right, once you're logged in, I'm just going to give you a couple minutes to log yourself in here before we move on. So go ahead and try and get yourself logged in. We'll just give it a minute or two here. Okay, let's move on. Once you're signed in, it's going to show your little icon there. It should just say the first letter of your name, unless you've uploaded a picture. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on this icon that looks like a waffle in the top right hand side, and you're going to scroll and you're going to search for this icon that says Google Classroom. Okay, once you click on Google Classroom, if this is the first time you've ever logged into your account, you're going to have to accept the agreement to join Google Classroom. So you're going to get through there. Then it's going to put your account there. It's going to say, this is Google Classroom. By joining, you agree to share information with people. You're going to hit continue. It's going to ask you, are you a student? Are you a teacher? Okay, if you're a student, you're going to click student. And our class code is listed right here. So if you're at that page right now, go ahead and log in with ZQNXHND. You might see that I've already invited you to the class, and it should show up in your Google Classroom looking just like this. And all you have to do is click join, and you are in our Google Classroom. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to do that, to get yourself logged in, and then we're going to jump into giving a bit of a tour of our Google Classroom so you know what to do there. So what I'm going to do is feel free to pause the video here, get yourself logged in, and then we're going to come back and we're going to do an overview of what Google Classroom looks and feels like. So I'm going to go in as my demo student, and we'll take a look together. So take a minute or two to get yourself logged in. Okay, like I said, waffles. You might have to scroll a little bit to find Google Classroom. There it is there. Okay, I'm already in the class. Click on the class to open it. Okay, so you should see your little icon here, and if you logged in up here, you'll see it up here as well. Okay, in here on this first page, it's called the Classroom Stream. You're going to see if there's any announcements, or I might send you a private message using this, giving your login credentials, or maybe asking you a specific question. You can also make an announcement or a post in here. This is a stream, is just basically if you have any questions or there's any classroom announcements. Okay, so that's the first tab. On the left-hand side here, you're going to see a set of lines. If you click on those lines and go to classes, it will show all the classes you have been invited to. Maybe you just have this one, maybe you have others. Okay, so the stream is where the class information is. You can also see any upcoming assignments you have due, and you'll see that you have one due on Friday that we're going to talk about in a minute. Okay, the next tab across is called your class work. This is where you're going to see all the information and coursework will be shown right in this tab here. Okay, so this is today's class today. You'll see that there's my slideshow that I worked with you on a bit earlier. There's also, we're going to go through our text that goes along with our course today. There's also an assignment. You see if there's an assignment attached, you'll be able to see view assignment. Okay. We'll go through our assignment in just a little bit, but maybe I'll get you set up on that first. So today's, you saw that I introduced a little bit about myself. Your task for this course is to introduce yourself as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on it and you're going to go view assignment. Okay. And the assignment is the introduce yourself slide. So in the slides, you are all going to be in the same slideshow, so don't panic if you see other people in there. You're going to choose a slide, you're going to put your name on it, and tell me a little bit about yourself. So you'll see that I put my slide in here. Who am I? I put my name, I put a couple of pictures, and some words that highlight who I am. You can use any format you like for that. You can use any format you like for that. I just did a very simple basic format, so that's no problem. Okay, so all you have to do, I'm just going to show you, give you a quick tour of Google Slides. Pick a slide. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on the text box, and I'd like you just to put your name on the slide so nobody else takes the slide. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll put one of those in each of, you can put your name in the slide that you're going to use. So to put text, all you have to do is click and drag and it puts a text box in there for you. To put images, you just click on insert image. You can upload images, you can search the web, which is really nice. So if you want to look, if you love cats, maybe you want to look for a picture of a cat, put a cat in there. There we go. Okay, so very simple. You can resize the pictures and you can drag and move them around the slide. So give me a little information on a slide, a little bit about yourself, some words that highlight who you are, maybe where you're located, what your job is, maybe a picture. So name on the top, a little bit about yourself, and we're going to take a look at that in the next class. It's actually due on Friday, so maybe we'll take a look at it on Monday. You notice that every time I open something in Google Classroom, it opens in a new tab. So you can actually just use these tabs to go back and forth. Here's my assignment. Okay, I'm done my assignment. So I'm going to click mark it as done. So what that will do is it will notify me, the teacher, that your work is ready for marking. Right, like, okay, I just submitted my assignment. Now, how do I get back to my class information? you just go and click on the title, and then you're back to the class stream. Okay, so that's how you fill out today's assignment for the Google slide. If you have any questions, like I said, don't hesitate to reach out. I don't bite, I promise. Okay, so let's go back into Google Classroom, and we're going to take a look at the textbook that goes along with this course. I think I still have it open. Here we go. All right, so intro to co-op. How do we navigate? So with each lesson that we do, there's also a textbook page that goes with each lesson, and you can see it right here. So this text, we don't always use all of it, so I will highlight the things that we need. But just know that on each page, you're going to see the topic that we're on, and we might refer to some of these images. If I have questions for you, I will usually post them in Google Classroom, but at times we'll read through the text together. So read through this, it's a little introduction about how to navigate the text materials, okay? And also, if you're wondering what we're studying for each topic, you'll be able to take a look at the essential skills that we're covering for each topic. Okay, so that's the textbook that we're going to be following along with, and all of your assignments will be attached as Google assignments, just like our slideshow today. So your task today is twofold. So your task is to familiarize yourself with Google Classroom by logging in, logging out. And I also am going to I did post some Google training videos. So if you're not familiar with using Google or G Suite, it's also called, it gives you some little tutorials. It's only going to take probably, to watch all of them, it's going to take you an hour. So it will help you learn a little bit about how to navigate this Google G Suite that we're going to be using for this course. So again, to go back to the classes, you just click on classes. You'll see that you have under classwork, you have one assignment where you're going to introduce yourself, and then you're going to go through the Google training videos. And that is the intro to DCO3O. If you have any questions, please post on the stream or send me a text, and I will open up my slideshow here so you know how to reach me. So send me a text, send me an email, and today's goal is to familiarize yourself with the course content. So looking forward to working with all of you. Tomorrow we're diving right into topic 1. We're going to be working on some personality surveys, which I'm really excited about, and I think it will tell you a lot about yourself. So yeah, it's going to be a great semester. I'll be reaching out to talk to you about what kind of work placement you're doing, but in the meantime, I will see you tomorrow in class. Your job today is to navigate Google Classroom, fill in the All About Me slide, and take those video tutorials that I've posted there for you on how to use Google Suite. All right, we'll see you in class tomorrow. Have a great day.